At age 70, a quiet change is taking place inside your body, and you may have never noticed. It's the gradual loss of your muscle mass. You are not sick, nor have you had any serious accidents. But year after year, you feel your body weakening. Standing up and sitting down becomes harder. Even light lifting feels tiring. And sometimes, you don't understand why just a walk around the block leaves you out of breath. Bernard, 74 years old, was once a healthy man. He walked every morning, ate a balanced diet, and had no serious underlying conditions. But in just 6 months, he began to feel his hands were empty, his legs grew weaker, and the muscles around his shoulders seemed to vanish. When he saw a doctor, they found nothing seriously wrong. But a senior nutritionist in Dallas gave him a very different answer. Your body is in a state of chronic protein deficiency, and your own daily habits are the culprit. This is something many people over 70 have never been warned about. Your body no longer absorbs protein as easily as it used to. And if you don't know how to adjust your eating and lifestyle habits, then even if you eat very normally, your muscles will continue to shrink, little by little, day by day. The good news is, you can slow this process down and even reverse it if you know which seemingly harmless habits are actually blocking your ability to absorb protein. In today's video, I'll share 4 common habits that people over 70 often have, which unintentionally prevent protein from getting to where your muscles need it. Some habits might be happening right from your first meal of the day, or you might simply be taking the wrong medication, or perhaps you're just sitting still for too long after eating. If you are feeling weaker, losing muscle, and have less stamina, then you will very likely find the answer in what's coming next. And notably, the final habit, which very few people talk about, is the deciding factor in whether protein can actually reach your muscles or not. Let's begin. Habit 1, skipping breakfast or just having soda or coffee. Every morning, Bernard started his day with a cup of black coffee and a few sips of water. He said, "I don't eat breakfast, I'm not hungry, and besides, I'm used to it." It was a habit he had maintained for over 10 years. But in recent years, he started noticing something was off with his body. Although he still ate 3 meals a day, in his perception, he was becoming noticeably weaker. His back was not as straight as before, his biceps were smaller, and his calves felt soft every time he stood up. When he went for a checkup, he learned skipping breakfast, which seemed harmless, was actually one of the biggest reasons his body was losing muscle so quickly. After age 70, your body's ability to synthesize protein is not as robust as when you were young. Your muscles can no longer store protein for later use, but need to be refueled steadily, spread evenly throughout the day. When you skip breakfast, your body enters a state of waiting for energy for too long, and this causes muscles to start breaking themselves down to maintain minimal function. It sounds hard to believe, but for every hour without protein, your body is literally eating its own muscle. Worse, if you only drink coffee, soda, or energy drinks to tide you over, you are tricking your body into alertness with caffeine without providing any materials to rebuild muscle. The result is a feeling of high energy that lasts only a few hours, but is followed by a cascade of problems: a racing heart, shaky limbs, loss of focus, and worst of all, continued muscle depletion. Studies from the University of Texas show that older adults need about 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal to maintain stable muscle mass. If you skip breakfast, you have essentially lost 1/3 of your chance to protect your muscles that day. The good news is, you don't have to eat a huge meal or cook anything fancy. A protein-sufficient breakfast can be as simple as 1 boiled egg, a few slices of avocado, and a small piece of tuna. Or if you find it hard to eat in the morning, you could try a glass of unsweetened soy milk with a little plant-based protein powder mixed in. The important thing is, don't let your body start a long day in a state of starvation, especially when you're trying to hold on to every bit of dwindling muscle. You might think, I'll just make up for it at lunch. But for a body over 70, skipping breakfast isn't just about hunger. It's a matter of survival for every muscle fiber, every step, every time you want to stand up without holding on. And if you currently have this habit, don't worry, a small change, like 1 egg in the morning, can be the start of recovery. But don't stop there. There's another mistake that's even more common: eating too little protein for fear of gaining weight. And it is silently stealing the healthy bodies of so many people over 70. Habit 2. Eating too little protein during the day for fear of gaining weight. One of the constant worries for many people after age 70 is, I don't want to gain weight. This is understandable because everyone fears high cholesterol, diabetes, and blood pressure. But this very fear has led many people to drastically cut their protein intake. And the consequence is the body starts losing something more precious than appearance. It's vital muscle mass. Teresa, 72 years old, is a prime example. She was very meticulous about her diet. For lunch, she ate just half a bowl of rice with boiled vegetables. For dinner, she avoided meat, fearing it would feel heavy. For breakfast, she drank diluted low-fat milk because she heard that drinking a lot will make you fat. Her weight indeed did not increase, but at that same time, she began finding it difficult to squat, climb stairs, or even carry a large pot of soup without getting winded. The strange thing was, she wasn't thin at all. It was just that the muscles in her arms, legs, and shoulders were gradually becoming soft. The problem is, the number on the scale doesn't reflect your muscle health. You might look full-figured, but inside your weak muscles are depleting. And when you don't eat enough protein, your body is forced to withdraw capital from your own muscles to maintain vital functions. Nutrition experts have made it clear. People over 70 should eat at least 0 to 1, 2 grams of protein for every kilogram of body weight per day. This means if you weigh 132 pounds, you need a minimum of 60 to 70 grams of protein divided evenly across 3 meals, not one large meal and 2 others just to get by. Sadly, many people think eating a lot of meat is fattening, when in reality, muscle is the most effective energy-burning engine. When you have enough muscle, you burn energy better, process sugar better, and store less fat, even when eating a full meal. Conversely, when you lack muscle, everything you eat is easily stored as excess fat because the body no longer has a place to process the nutrients. The solution isn't to eat a ton, but to eat enough and consistently. Instead of one big meat-heavy lunch, spread your protein throughout the day: an egg in the morning, a bowl of lentils or a small piece of fish at lunch, and a bowl of chicken soup for dinner. Combined with vegetables, healthy fats, and limited refined carbs, you will both maintain a stable weight and protect your precious muscle mass. Don't let the fear of getting fat make you lose your strength, because after 70, what helps you stand up isn't your weight. It's the muscle silently supporting your entire body every day. And if you think you're already eating enough protein, but still find your body isn't recovering as you'd hope, then be careful. A seemingly harmless medication you take every day could be preventing your body from absorbing protein. Habit 3. Long-term use of stomach acid reducers impairs protein absorption. One thing very few people notice: your digestive system after age 70 no longer works as powerfully as it used to. And within it, the stomach, the place that unlocks the process of protein absorption, is often overlooked. Or worse, it's disabled by the very pills you trust and use every single day. Teresa, after learning she needed to increase her protein, started eating more eggs, fish, and milk. But after more than a month, her situation didn't improve much. She still felt weak, her muscles were still soft, and she was tired every afternoon. When her doctor reevaluated, they discovered she had been taking a stomach acid-suppressing drug for over 2 years for mild reflux, the type of medication often called a PPI, such as omeprazole or lansoprazole. This is a major problem few are warned about. Acid-blocking medications, when used long-term, reduce the amount of hydrochloric acid in the stomach. And this acid is essential to activate the enzymes that digest protein. Without enough acid, the protein you eat, even if it's enough, isn't broken down into amino acids. Your body can't absorb it, and your muscles remain starved. In other words, you could be eating perfectly right and perfectly enough, but if your stomach lacks sufficient acid, all that effort gets blocked at the very first step. Research from the Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic clearly shows people who use PPIs long-term are at risk for poor absorption of vitamin B12, magnesium, and especially protein. The consequences are not just muscle loss, but also fatigue, aches, reduced immunity, and slow recovery from illness. So what should you do if you're taking stomach medicine every day? First, do not stop the medication on your own, but do talk to your doctor. Ask them, how long have I been on this? Does the dose need adjusting? Is it possible to taper off? In many cases, just changing the time you take it or switching to an easier to digest diet can help you reduce your reliance on the medication. Additionally, you can supplement with digestive enzymes from lightly fermented foods like unsweetened yogurt, kefir, miso, or fermented vegetable drinks. These foods both help improve your gut microbiome and support natural digestion. And if you want your body to truly absorb protein, start at the source. Help your stomach become strong enough to do its job. Because, as Teresa once said, I thought eating enough was enough. Turns out eating right without being able to digest it is like doing nothing. And luckily, after reducing her medication dose, combined with eating slowly, chewing thoroughly, and adding natural enzymes, she began feeling stronger each week. However, there is still one final factor, one that seems completely unrelated to eating, but has a huge influence on whether protein gets transported to where your muscles actually need it. And unfortunately, so many people over 70 overlook this every day. If you're still watching and finding this helpful, drop a number 3 in the comments below to let me know. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd really encourage you to hit that follow button and turn on notifications so you don't miss new videos. Your support helps us continue creating more helpful and inspiring content. Habit 4, not moving after a meal prevents muscles from being activated to absorb protein. After 70, your body no longer metabolizes protein as quickly as it used to. Even if you eat enough protein, if you just sit still or lie down after a meal, a large portion of that protein will not get to where it needs to go, which is to your weakening muscles. Gerald, 76 years old, was very mindful of his diet. He ate 3 meals at the right times, always including fish, eggs, or yogurt. But for a long time, he still found himself getting weaker, especially in his thighs and calves. When he reviewed his habits with a nutritionist, he was shocked to realize, after every meal, he would sit and watch television for over an hour and barely moved at all until the next meal. This is a common mistake that many people make. After a meal, your body needs a signal to activate the process of absorbing protein into your muscles. And that signal is gentle movement. Just by standing up, taking a few steps, or doing simple movements like raising your arms, rotating your shoulders, or doing heel raises, you can flip the switch for muscle protein synthesis. Conversely, if you sit or lie still for too long, your body will understand that there is no demand for muscle use. Then the protein you just ate will not be prioritized for delivery to your muscles, but will more likely be broken down or excreted. This is part of the reason why many people lose muscle despite eating enough protein. Studies in the US show that older adults who simply walk lightly for about 10 minutes after a meal can increase their protein synthesis by up to 25 to 30%. This is especially important when every gram of protein at this age is as precious as gold, because the body no longer retains it naturally like it did when younger. You don't need to do strenuous exercise. No need to go to a park or anywhere far. After your meal, just stand up to wash the dishes, water the plants on the porch, walk around the living room a few times, or simply stand up and sit down 5 times. That's enough. After understanding this, Gerald changed his habit. He set an alarm after each meal to remind himself to walk around the yard for 5 minutes. And after just 3 weeks, he noticed his legs were less tired, he felt steadier on his feet, and the feeling of losing strength gradually disappeared. So if you have carefully chosen protein-rich foods, spread out your meals, and stopped habits that hinder digestion, then don't forget the final step. Put that protein to use by standing up and moving. Because preserving muscle after 70 isn't just about eating right, it's about living right, one step at a time. You have just discovered more familiar habits that silently prevent your body from holding on to its precious muscle mass after age 70. From skipping breakfast, eating too little protein for fear of gaining weight, using stomach medications long-term, to sitting still after eating. Each small habit is contributing to weakening your body every day without you even knowing. What's the good news? All of these things can be changed without medicine, without great expense, and especially, it's not too late at all. You can start with a boiled egg in the morning. Add some fish, beans, or yogurt to your lunch. Ask your doctor to review your current prescriptions. And the simplest of all, stand up and walk a few steps after you finish eating. These small actions, repeated daily, will help your muscles gradually recover, and from there you will feel your body become steady again. You don't have to be as strong as you were in your youth, but you can absolutely be stronger than you are today, if you start with one thing, no matter how small. If this video has helped you realize something, share one change you're planning to make in the comments below. Your comment might just inspire someone else to start their own journey. Thank you for listening all the way through. And if you found this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to preserve our strength together from the inside, one day at a time. See you in the next video.